Great, so now we just need two more actors. One is going to be the exit door, and the second actor is going to be some type of hazard. So I want to create a spike, and this spike is going to be falling like it's lava raining on the player. So if the player touches the spike, the sphere that we have is going to fall into the ground. Now let's create those. Create a new blueprint actor. Name it BP underscore exit door. Inside this actor, we are just going to need two components. The first one is the static mesh. So let's add the static mesh component. Notice that the viewport is empty, and that's because the static mesh itself is empty as well. So we are going to change this. On the details panel, go to the static mesh section and click on the drop menu, search for start, and we are going to select start rotation handle indicator. Now this static mesh looks different from the other actors on the map, like it's indicating something. Now, if we compile now, we can select the materials. The reason why we have two materials is because this specific static mesh is using two materials at the same time. On the element 0, we are going to use arrow, and on the element 1, we are going to use geometry. Selected geometry material. Now this is going to look way more interesting, and now the static mesh is ready. We're going to add a box collision. Now we notice that the box collision is actually too big, or the static mesh is too small. To check that, you can place this actor in the level. And yes, you can notice how small this static mesh looks. So we have to fix that. Go to the exit door actor and select the box static mesh. Select the static mesh component. And on the transform section, change the scale to 10 by 10 by 10. Now this is way better. However, now the box is too small. So select this box and change the extent to something like 60. No, wait, something like 100 by 100 by 100. I also want this box to be in the middle of this. Remember, we are going to collide, we are going to overlap this box. So it is important for us to be able to reach the location of the box. I think this looks better. Let's compile, save, and let's check this on the level. And for me, this looks perfect. You can change the location of this actor here on the details panel. And let's have 0, 0, 300. So now this actor is perfectly located at the center of the level. Let's add a begin overlap event to the box collision. Let's use another cast from the other actor pin. This is going to be cast to BP underscore third person character. And now we're going to use another function. This is the open level by object reference. Let's connect the execution pin to this function, and on the level selection, let's pick the same level that we are currently using, which we can check the name here in the corner. Search for level underscore third person, and now we can test this. Okay, so let's move to the right and let's go back to the left. Right, so notice that we are opening the level again. the level resets, but we have to fix some problems. The first problem that I noticed is that we are colliding with the static mesh. So click on the static mesh and on the details panel, go to the collision presets and change to custom. Ignore camera and ignore pawn. Compile and let's try this again. Right, so we have to move a little bit outside the box collision. And if we go back, right, the level is opening the same level in this case, but now we have a loop where we can reset the current level. But we don't want this box collision to be active by default because we have to complete the quest first. Go to the box collision and search for the collision preset. Change this to no collision. Now we're going to add one more component to make this more interesting. Add a rotating movement component. Save and test. Now notice how it's pretty clear that this exit is active, but if we step on it, we are not triggering the event. Of course, we don't want this to rotate right away, only when we complete the quest. Select the rotating movement component and search for activate. So we have auto activate. We have to disable this box. When we compile and try and test, we notice that the exit is not rotating and is not triggering any event. This is good because we can now go and take the spheres, and only when we have 5 spheres, the exit is going to work. Now, let's create the last blueprint actor. This is going to be the BP_spike. Here, we are going to add a cone mesh. And now we will add a collision, a capsule collision. If we add the components in that order, the capsule will be automatically assigned as the child of the cone. When we click on the cone component, I would like to change the shape of the cone a little bit. So go to the scale and change this to 0.3 by 0.3 by 1. So now the cone looks spikier. We are also going to rotate the cone on the Y value on the pitch by 180. So now the cone is pointing downwards. Finally, let's change the material on the element 0 to laser. Let's select the first one, laser pointer material, so it looks very dangerous. We are going to simulate physics on this mesh because remember, we want this spike to rain over the player. Now I noticed that the capsule is a little small. The capsule is too small for the spike. So select the capsule component, close the search result, and here we can change the capsule height to something like 60 and the capsule radius to 60 as well. Now the capsule collision is properly sized for this mesh. As the last step, we are going to add the begin overlap event on the capsule collision. Here, from the other actor, cast to BP_third person character. And just we want to make a test. We want to try this actor on the level. Instead of using the execution pin, we're going to use the cast failed. What we're going to use here is a delay node. Set the duration to 1 second, and after this, on the completed pin, we have to use the destroy function, the destroy actor. So what is going to happen is the capsule collision is going to detect the other actor. If this other actor is not a player character, then it's going to wait for 1 second and it's going to destroy itself. Now it's time to test this. Go to the, compile first, then go to the level, and let's add a couple of these spikes. We can hold Alt and move this to duplicate the actor. Now try the level. Okay, notice that if the spike hits the ground, after 1 second, the spikes disappear. I think this is working now. So what we're going to do next is to randomly spawn these spikes on the level. And for that, we are going to use some more advanced functions.